Welcome back to Erin Fisher TV, Marketing on Your Corner. I hope that after our last segment that you have become an ambassador in your trade area. You're telling all kinds of people about what you do, you're wearing your logos, you have invitations, you're inviting people into your store. And one point about the logos, my husband wears logos every single day of his business. And if you don't have a person that can do logos, I'm going to put under my blog a really good guy that does it for a good price. Its name is Logo Pros, and so I'm going to give you that information. But if you're a franchise, make sure you check with your headquarters before you go ahead and get those logos printed. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to talk about today is, yes, operations is a part of marketing. When my husband Bob and I moved out here to Cincinnati, there's a great hometown ice cream store that we really enjoy here. I love Cold Stone Creamery, but there's a hometown brand that's in the grocery store that I was partaking in quite a bit when we first moved here. And I was exercising like crazy, I was running with my dog, I was playing tennis, and I was gaining quite a bit of weight. And so I talked to my husband a couple months after moving here, and I said, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't understand. And he said, well, maybe it's the pint of ice cream you're eating every night. And that goes straight back into local store marketing. Local store marketing does not work without operations. It's the exact same thing as losing weight. You have to exercise and you have to eat right. And you can't lose weight any other way or be healthy. You have to do both things, and there's nothing simple about it. It's that way or nothing. And it's the same thing with marketing, is operations goes right in hand with that. Last weekend, Bob and I went to Starbucks and we went through the drive-thru. And you know how many people go through the drive-thru at Starbucks. Well, we went through the drive-thru, and not at Starbucks, but 2 restaurants in that same complex had their trash overflowing. Well, they may not have been open yet, but gross. I looked at those restaurants like they were dirty. It was disgusting. And all those people going through Starbucks that day saw that, and it was so important that you get your operations in check before you start inviting people into your store. Bob and I also like to entertain, and before we entertain, we plan out what we're going to have to eat, of course. And we also get the house completely clean. We would never entertain without having the house clean, or having our bathrooms clean, or having everything stocked, and having plenty of food and drinks for people, because that was very important to us. And the same thing is with your restaurant. You need to think of it as you're entertaining or your business. And you would never invite people into your house with your bathrooms that are dirty. And it's the same thing with your restaurant or your business. Make sure that your operations are in check before you start inviting people into your store. No to negativity. Why do I have that up there? For marketing, negativity can literally kill your business. When I first started traveling around with franchisees, I went to a business in Memphis, Tennessee. And they were struggling at that point, and I wanted to go out and see how I could help them. Well, I went there, and the gentleman had his shoulders over like this and wanted to tell me all the things that were wrong. And when I went to his business, he had a beautiful business. He had a decent trade area, not fantastic over-the-top entertainment area, but it was decent. He had houses around him. He had apartment complexes, schools, radio stations, all kinds of things that you would want to get involved in your trade area. But he kept talking about how bad his location was, how they weren't paying rent, and just how bad things were. So I watched him interact with his customers as they came in, and they actually asked him how he was doing instead of him asking them how they were doing. And he had his shoulders humped over, not good. To everybody that came in, I'm not doing good. And how would you want to come to that business? Negativity can literally kill you. Of course, he closed his doors and he's probably moved on to something else. But over these past couple of years, I know the economy hasn't been good, and it's good to talk to people about that, but it's literally time to put it behind us. It's 2011. I just had a friend post something on Facebook about 2011, and it said this is going to be a really good year for businesses. And another gentleman, one of his friends, wrote on there, yes, but here are the reasons why it could not be a good year for businesses. And I wrote on there, yay for 2011. I do not want to talk about all the reasons why we can't do something this year. The Packers and the Steelers. I'm not a huge football fan. Everybody knows I'm a big, big baseball fan. But they're getting ready to go to the Super Bowl next week. And Bob and I were watching some of the pregame activities. And they're both talking about how they're the best team, how they're going to win the Super Bowl, and I have to tell you, somebody's going to lose. But they're not going in thinking about losing. I know the Packers are a 6th seed, I think that's what they are. But they're not talking about, we should go into the Super Bowl with conservative optimism. We should be nervous about it. I don't know if we can win. We might win. I mean, here we are. We're at the Super Bowl. We might win. No, they're talking about winning. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to get rid of negativity. I want you to say no to negativity. If there are people in your life that want to constantly talk about all the bad things, or business partners that want to talk about negativity, put that in the balcony of your life. You need to be talking about the positivity of 2011. I used to work out with a man named Mac Newton, and he trained professional athletes to get ready for the 4th quarter, the 2nd half, the 9th inning. And as an amateur athlete, he let us train right along with them. And one Saturday morning, we were having an especially hard class. And at the end of class, he had us do timed suicides. And of all you football players out there, you know about timed suicides, where you run to the line, come back, run to the next line, come back to the wall. Well, I didn't make my time, and he told me to do it again. I didn't make my time. He said to do it again. At that point, I fell on the floor. I couldn't do anymore. He came over, got me, picked me up, and told me I was the best one in there. I was the fastest, and get on the wall. I could do it. I got on the wall, and I had my fastest time ever, and my life was never the same after that in that class. It was just because someone picked me up and told me I can do it. Well, what I want to do for you today is for 2011 is pick you up off the floor and put you back on the wall. Because we can do it. I don't want to talk about 2011 as conservative optimism. What if everybody watching this video right now didn't have conservative optimism? We all had optimism. We believed this was going to be our best year. We were going to win the Super Bowl. So as you are becoming an ambassador in your trade area, it's so important that you become the most positive person that you know. You put the rest of the people that are negative up in the balcony, and your crew members, your workers, your employees, you're giving that infectious enthusiasm to everybody around you. And guess what? You will have the best 2011. What I want you to do this week is concentrate on your operations. Go through all your checklists, clean it all out, and get it all straightened out, because that's yes to marketing, I promise. I want you to say no to negativity, and you will become the most positive person out there. So good luck this week.